Hello all, my name is Donald McCarthy. I am GMing Monsterhearts 2 for the Gauntlet. This is part 2 of 3 of our Ballhir small town. Let's do a quick recap of last week, previously on Monsterhearts. So let's hear from Jesse from the point of view of Regan.
Oh, wow. What trouble did Regan get into last time? The major issue is that she is currently doing the bidding of a serpent that is trapped under the lock named Miriask, and her charge is to bring citizen students from the town to the lake, where they are very swiftly consumed by the beast. She recently brought a couple of former friends there who were pulled under and consumed by the beast. So right now she has her sights set on the Fannin family, particularly Owen. So that's what we will see happen this time.
Okay, Lauren, how about previously on Monsterhearts from Owen's point of view?
Oh my god. Everything was going so terribly. Didn't have a lead singer for the band. But auditions went really well, apart from like my fucking sister turned up and Jesus Christ, I wish she would stop taking the piss. Like this is a serious thing for me. But no, she thought it'd be really, really hilarious to bring one of that guy. I forget his name. He's not super important. Didn't really sing really well anyway. But thank God we found Robbie. Beautiful pipes in that guy. Beautiful pipes. And yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. Pretty fond of him. I'm glad he's in the band. We hung out. It was great. So life's pretty good right now.
Okay, Mark, let's hear from Malik.
I don't know if you could hear me laughing through my mute there, Lauren. So I tried my best to. I'm the Serpentine, Maliki, and Maliki. I tried out for the band and went all serious and got booed off stage, as it were, and then he followed Regan around and ended up having a desperate talk with her, and they agreed to work together to move our family's plans along. And finally, I came home, and to save my sister, I met the snaky gaze of my mother, who has recently taken over the family, and she checked my teeth to see how my fangs were coming, and I told her that my best attribute was fighting, and so she said she would see how good of a fighter I am, or something along those lines. So I'm feeling a little lone right now, but ready to tear something apart if I get the chance.
Cool. And Vincent, how about Robbie?
Okay, so we see snippets of Robbie's Fae extended family telling him that his time in Ballhir is running up and he's going to have to head back home. We see him under the bridge, like first just like letting out a rage-filled scream, but then breaking down in tears. And trying to remember her name. Oh, we don't have her name on the relationship map.
Oh, I thought it was Una, I think.
It is. Get that in. Una. seeing him in that state. We cut over to seeing him insulting Monica, preparing for the audition. We see him nailing the audition. We see him nailing Owen.
You've been working on that line for quite some time, I hope. Okay, awesome. I think I don't want to fast forward too much, but I think over the course of the evening and the night after the last session, we see a sudden frost come over the town. The lake is freezing over, just like people suspected it might if there was a cold snap. And I think if this were an opening sequence of the TV show, the last thing we would see is the frost covering over Kira's face as she floats out into the lake. So let's start with I think we want to see Robbie head home. I know we had kind of discussed that he was a miracle child. His parents are a bit older. What does the house look like from outside, and what's the state of the farm?
Okay, so we see as Robbie's heading home, he has a bit of a skip to his step. He's in a good mood, but as he finally gets into these outskirts of town, you get this just kind of like very overgrown path leading to this old house, like a little bit into the woods. And it kind of seems like this forest is almost like sprung up overnight. There have always been trees in the area, but they've never seemed to dominate the landscape like they do now. The grass hasn't been mowed or cut in well over a month, and is getting about knee high. And you can see bugs flittering through the whole area. There's a fire in the chimney, so you can see the smoke rising out of it. But this is just like a very old stone house that is being taken over by the nature around it.
So maybe, there's going to be always a little bit of moss growing on places like this, but it's almost like a greenhouse. That it's so overgrown with moss and ivy and stuff like this. And just to be clear, when we said there was some kind of a pact with the Fairy Queen to bring you to them as a changeling, was that an overt pact? Do they know you're a changeling, or do they merely have suspicions?
I think that they know. They've never discussed it with me, but I've come to know on my own. So I think that they don't know. My understanding of the pact is that they would have been promised a child. My mother got pregnant, so like an actual human child was conceived and born, but then they came and did a swap.
Okay. So I think when you get home, maybe your father is out on the mountainside bringing in some sheep, who have been kind of straying out of the enclosures a lot recently. They're going, I think maybe he said they're going a bit goatish. They're a bit, they're not as docile or herdish as they usually are, as they should be.
I picture him also carrying over his shoulders one of them that he just wasn't quite able to stop from being killed by a wolf in time.
Okay. So I guess your mom is around the house. She might be out the back having a smoke or something like that, listening to some music. Kind of wondering where the hell everyone is.
I guess I can come around and find her there if that works for you, Benna.
Yeah. So she kind of makes a. So she's older, right? So she's in her early 60s. And she puts out her cigarette and coughs and says, "Oh, there's tea in the pot there if you want. There's a plate in the oven if you're hungry."
Good, I'm starving. You shouldn't smoke those anymore. It's not good for you.
Sure. Maybe in the summer I'll quit.
Let me get you a blanket. It's cold out here. And I go into the house. I get my food out of the oven and grab a shawl to bring back to her.
Okay. There's something, I think, in the kind of kitchen or that space that makes you realize that your mother does know that you'll be leaving soon. What is that?
I think we have an open trash can, and there's like a stuffed teddy bear that she's already like. I'll tone it down only a tiny bit. I think that a bag of my kind of children's things has been tied up for donation rather than the trash.
Okay. And how does Robbie react?
I think he stops. He looks at the bag. He picks it up, takes it to his room, and puts it away there.
Okay. Let's go to Regan. At home, do you think, or are you wandering?
Yeah, I think I'm probably home at this point. I think I sat and just watched the body float away for a minute, but then I got up and left.
So, I mean, and like we've seen the Fannan's house, which is kind of slightly out of town, overlooking it, quite large and well bespoke. And I think we've kind of seen the Serpentine household, which is quite sprawling, but still in the middle of town and a bit run down. Where does the Quinn household fit in terms of that? What's the setup there?
I think it's fairly it's a fairly modest house. The house itself is not particularly grand or sprawling or decadent, but there are a couple elements that are maybe a bit like overly ostentatious or that speak to a desire to be better or wealthier or fancier or more posh than they actually are.
And is there any evident connection with with the Moors or the Fannons in the house, or is it just the kind of the pretensions to being much more important that are?
Yeah, I don't think that there's a particular connection to either household. I think it feels a little bit like its own thing.
Okay. So I think so sorry, your parents or mother, father, or whatever, what's the kind of family circumstance that Regan finds herself in?
I think this is our household is one that is very much ruled by the iron fist of my father. Like, I think maybe he was former military or had some maybe even still military potentially, and he's like the kind of classic domineering, somewhat maybe not actually abusive, but always on the verge of, like, there's a constant threat of it, and everyone else is sort of cowed by his demands.
Okay. So is this like where Regan gets her, I deliver, I will do what is necessary to achieve my mission,
Right.
comes from? Okay.
Yeah, and I think that is an explicit demand from him that me and I assume that maybe I have like a younger brother, that we are expected to be perfect in every single way.
Okay. I think Saoirse is going to call over maybe after you kind of have your tea and maybe get some homework done or whatever. So like when you have time free to yourself. She doesn't look happy. She's changed out of her, I guess, a bit, what we call it, her more preppish outfit into something a bit more practical. And yeah, she has definitely, maybe she's been crying. You're not sure.
Okay. So she comes over.
I think she might ask. No,
I was just gonna say, I think I maybe have also been crying, but I've done much to like try to cover it up.
So do you like walk when you're meeting her? Do you like bring her up to your room or like sit in somewhere downstairs in the house, which is a little bit not private, or do you walk outside the house to talk?
If I know she's coming over, I'm gonna catch her at the front door and maybe take her for a walk. So I don't think we would hang out at home. I don't love it there.
Okay. So yeah, I think when you're heading out, there's kind of a I won't say shout, but there's like the voice is raised from your dad to remind you that it's going to get pretty sharpish cool tonight, and you better put a woolly hat on or something like that, or else you will catch your death.
Yes, sir. Of course, I already on it, Father. I think once we're out of earshot and out of the way, I will look over at her and just try to suss out what's going on. I don't know that I'll necessarily ask any questions, but just see if she opens up first.
Yeah, I don't think you need to wait long. It's like as soon as you're at the gate, I'm really worried about Dylan. He has just disappeared for so long now, and nobody knows where he's gone.
Why are you even thinking about him? That's random.
So last summer, we started seeing each other. And I didn't say anything to you because I knew I thought he was going around behind my back with someone,
When?
and I didn't. When?
When? When did you start seeing him?
At that festival. Remember when you had to leave early to do something? Right? Yeah, we hooked up that night.
And you're telling me this now. Why?
Because I'm worried. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure why I didn't tell you beforehand, but it sounded, I'm sure he was seeing someone else, but I don't know.
I see. Okay. I need to go back home. I forgot my gloves. So you just wait here. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. Let us cut across to the Fanon household. I think there's a family dinner, right?
There is most certainly a family dinner happening.
So we have not seen your dad yet, have we?
Not yet, no.
No. So what's he like? Actually, let me kind of preface this with I think the family dinner was called to celebrate some kind of new contract he got at work or something like that. So it's like for him. But yeah, let's find out about Owen's dad.
Yeah. If he's sort of won a contract for something, he probably works. He probably works a lot. Like I probably don't see him around the house a lot since there's a lot of like properties that the Fanons have, and he probably has like a hand in all of them and making sure they're managed appropriately and that kind of thing. So I feel like I see him if I sleep in, I don't see him in the morning, which is often because I feel like Owen is someone who would capitalize on sleep more than breakfast and talking to his family in the morning. And then he probably works quite late. So this is quite a rare occurrence for to have him at dinner.
Okay. And like in terms of manner when he is around, what's he like?
Oh, he's probably always on his, I guess it's the 90s, right? He's probably always a bit distracted. Like he's probably, he probably has to field calls and stuff during dinner that he simply can't like put down. It really pisses off mom. My mom's always like, for fuck's sake, like, can we just not have a nice family dinner where you're not on the fucking phone kind of thing? And then it's a bit tense and awkward and you just hear like the clattering of cutlery on plates because mom and dad are fighting again.
Okay. So I guess the whole family gets together, and so there's obviously you and Aisling and younger siblings, I'm presuming.
Yeah, I feel like we're a sprawling family.
Yeah. An heir and a spare, right? That's and a couple more. Okay. So yeah, I mean I think it's pretty normal, except that fact that you're all there together, right? And there's I don't know, maybe simmering disagreements and petty rivalries and all that kind of stuff. And I think the kind of main thing that you notice is that unlike usual, like your dad is right here, he's not checking his phone. But about halfway through the dinner, your mother gets a text and she pays attention to it. And she's definitely texting someone back, kind of secretly, under the table.
And I think Owen like looks at his mother and gives her like a nod, and it's like pretty hypocritical of you, Mom. Like you always give us you did let me have my phone at the table for a week after I was texting Roisin. What's that?
Well, I'm very sorry. Yeah, I apologize to everyone. I will try to be better. But she's giving you a look, right? You're not allowed to call her out like that.
Like he meets her gaze for a second, is like I said, a defiant, like, try me. And then he goes back to his dinner.
Okay. And I think things kind of wrap up there. Ashling is pretty quiet. And your dad says, well, I think we should go down to the pub for a celebratory pint or two. And he is not including the younger kids, but he's definitely including Owen and Ashling. I mean, you're 17 or 18, maybe. I don't know whereabouts you are, but
Yeah.
it's totally fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, all of our family piled into the pub and we were like going around Ireland.
Yeah.
England.
I think, though, Ashling isn't. She's crying off because she needs to study.
And I think I think Owen also gives her a bit of shit. If when Dad says this and she's like, oh, I don't know, I've got to go and study. He's like, no, you don't.
And she kind of responds like, I'm pretty sure this is the most important year of our lives, right, Dad? That's what you said to me, like, every day for the last 6 months. The days you've been around, that is.
Come on, it's just a pint, Ashley. Like, when do we get to like hang out as a family?
No, I will next time. Unless you're trying to like shut down her kind of attempt at attempt at doing what she wants.
I think he is. Yeah. I think yeah. Yeah, it's not often they get to hang out with Dad.
Okay, so let's see your roll on that.
So this my sheet. It's cold, right?
Yeah.
Nice. And what if I got a 10.
Nice. So you choose one from below, and that's about it. So she does have a string on you, but you could give her a condition if you wanted, or take this one forward.
I kind of want to give her a condition.
Yeah.
I want to give her the condition, like, I was going to give her the nerd condition.
So
she's my uncool sister.
Okay. So if you're giving her the nerd uncool condition, that suggests to me that you're just putting her down and you don't care if she goes or not. Whereas if you try to give her, yeah,
I think so. I think it's like you're no fun, like. But you can do what you want, nerd. But like, if you want to come down to the pub, you know where it is. It's a couple blocks down.
Okay. Okay, let me note that. She's such a nerd.
Such a nerd.
Okay. So let's go to Maliki, who I think you'll still be at home. I don't know if you noticed Saoirse head out.
I don't think I did.
Okay.
But, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing otherwise. So,
okay. Well, let me answer that question straight away. You got a text from Ashling to invite you over.
Oh. Okay. So, like, That's confusing. Not confusing, like conflicting, right? Because she kind of set me up for that whole battle of the bands or the band audition thing, and I set myself up too. But I can blame her for it if I want. And but I do still have feelings for her. But I've been told not to go and see her, and is your brother there? I text back.
No, so she texts back pretty quickly. She's gotten rid of everyone, basically. Everyone who counts, at least.
On my way, I text.
Okay. So I think outside your house there is a Aoife, the guitarist in the band, who has, I think, unbeknownst to you, seen your true form, is kind of wandering around in circles outside your front gate, essentially.
Really? Okay. So I'm all bundled up because it's gotten really cold.
Yeah. She doesn't seem to be. I mean, she's kind of has a coat on and all, but she's not prepared for exactly how cold it's getting right now. I guess she's not still in her school uniform, but she still has the same kind of coat and such that she would have had to school.
So I imagine, as a snaky type person, that the cold is really awful. Like, you have to be warm blooded. So I have a thermos of tea, like hot tea or whatever. And as I'm leaving the gate, I head over to her. What's going on, Aoife?
So she kind of looks surprised and kind of not surprised. She's been pretty awkward. I just wanted to, say I'm sorry for how the rest of the band treated you earlier. It was not good, not cool.
Well, I'm a shit singer. I mean, they kind of have the right to.
I think you just picked a shit song for your range, you're too ambitious, I think, is what I'd say.
So, you could have told me that at school tomorrow. You walked all the way over here just to tell me that?
Well, in this sprawling metropolis, I'm a whole 4 minutes away from every single house. So, yeah.
And it's frozen out here. I mean, well, I guess I just saying that's sweet of you.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
You think maybe you think you know a better song for me? Something I could try to sing?
I mean, I don't think we're having another audition like Robbie is in.
No, but I can still try to sing.
Oh, yeah. Something not cranberries, because you definitely don't have the range. I don't know. I don't really pay attention. I just play the keys. I'm not.
Okay. Well,
If I think of something, I will let you know.
Okay.
So yeah, she she's obviously having a lot more going on in her head than she's saying, and she just kind of pulls the ripcord and says, "Well, I'll see you tomorrow," and she kind of starts to walk away.
Aoife, do you want to get coffee sometime?
Sure. Like, sure, yeah. Like proper coffee, like not in Fannon's, like we go into Westport or something.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay. Is that like this weekend? Tomorrow night?
Saturday?
Okay.
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay. I think you should probably roll to turn her on.
Okay. Let's see how horribly this will go. Let's see here. Click on my character sheet. Roll to hot. Comment. Turn on. No one's helping me out. And I got an 8.
It's pretty good. So, she chooses to give you a string or one of these reactions.
I mean, I think she's already being awkward. So.
She's already being embarrassed and awkward. She has already agreed to go out on a date with you, so she can't really promise you that. And she doesn't know what else. Oh, okay.
I don't mind her being more awkward.
Yeah. She says, I won't tell anyone, about you.
What do you mean, Aoife?
Like what you really are.
A shit singer?
Snaky.
And I freeze. Okay. Don't tell anyone.
I won't. I'll see you Saturday.
Saturday then. Yeah.
Okay, so she saunters off, seemingly quite happy with herself. Okay.
After a moment, I collect myself and I head over to the Fannons.
So, now this is a very small town. If there are multiple people out walking at the same time, holler if you want to bump into someone.
I do want to fulfill my promise with Malachi before lunch tomorrow. So being out for a stroll could be an opportunity for that.
Okay. Because Aisling wanted you to make, was it a public apology or just an apology? I can't remember.
I just saw it as I only have it in mind as I promised to apologize to Malachi by lunch tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
So
if you do not deal harm to me, I will be disappointed.
Okay.
Okay, and we almost have Regan and Saoirse on the streets as well. Let's see what happens there. When you go inside the house, Regan, what are you up to?
I mean, I do legitimately grab some gloves.
Okay.
But I look for something else too, like I don't know if there's a hammer around, maybe.
I'm sure, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think I go too far out of my way. So whatever would be like kind of, yeah. Let's say there was a hammer. My dad was doing some.
I was going to suggest a hurley. One of those wooden sticks that is definitely not like a wooden axe that's used in the hurling game, but is pretty deadly if you go at it the right way, as my broken nose will attest. Okay, so I don't know if you want to go. I mean, a hurley is quite a noticeable thing, though. Whereas
I want something that I can like just slide into my jacket pocket. So it's probably like a smallish hammer that my dad was using to like repair a chair or something.
Okay, like a traditional claw hammer, maybe, because that's going to be gruesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you slip that into your coat pocket,
my coat pocket. Yeah.
Pull on your gloves as you come out, and
my hope is to like I don't know that I necessarily. Oh, let's go to the Abbey.
Okay. To the kind of the murder quadrant of the town.
Right. Yeah.
So I think Saoirse,
everything in its right place. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I brought. I think I grabbed like some duct tape or something too.
Okay. So when I guess in terms of moving from your house to the Abbey, are you likely to cross paths with any of the others, do you think?
I would hope not, but if someone sees me, I think that's okay. So if it's convenient for someone to have seen me, I think that's great, but I would not be like, I feel like this is maybe a slightly different direction.
Okay.
Out of town, yeah.
So I guess then the question is, does Robbie bump into Malachi before he reaches the Fannons?
I'd like to. Yeah. I don't think it'll be too long a scene. Yeah, so I think it's just like along the road on your way. I think I'm kind of aimless, but I get the sense, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like Malachi is probably headed with purpose. He has somewhere to be.
Yep.
And I'm going to be getting in the way, and I'm the last person that you want to be getting in your way.
Okay.
And I see you from like a decent distance away. I say, Malachi. Oh. And I start jogging to catch up with you.
Now's not a good time, Robbie.
No, it'll just take a second. I wanted to say I know I was all right shite this morning at the audition. I'm sorry. It's wrong of me. I didn't want to hurt you in any kind of way. And I mean, if you'd like me to, offer you lessons or anything like that, I want to do right by you.
So I'm looking around for someone with a camera that's recording this. So that's what you see me doing, is I'm looking around.
I mean, can you look me in the eye when I'm trying to apologize? You're being kind of rude.
I'm I'm being rude. You're the one that's setting me up for some sort of prank with like apologies and offers to help after this morning. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Look, I did a shitty thing. I'm sorry for it. You don't have to be a prick about it.
So that's it. You've tracked me down in the middle of the night to come and apologize to me.
I happened to see you walking along. I happen to be walking along. I feel bad. What's wrong with you?
I'm not working this way towards punching very much.
If it doesn't feel right for it, you can just shut me down. That's totally acceptable as well.
Why'd you do it? What?
I get into that kind of situation. I try to just be dominant, I guess. I get nervous too, and nobody likes to have to audition in the first place. It's nerve-wracking. And I think that I saw an opportunity to elevate myself by putting somebody else down. And yeah, so I just kind of lashed out at anybody that I could. I wanted to be in the band. Sorry that you're the target of that.
So you know that you could, you knew you were going to win. What?
Well, you never know that. I mean, like, I could have forgotten words. Anything, shit happens.
I don't want your help. I don't even want to see you.
All right, fine. I tried to do the right thing, and you had to be a shite about it. Fine, go off. You seem to be busy and you're headed somewhere. It's fine.
So
just know I made an effort.
who's shutting who down there first? I was thinking Malachi, but then Robbie's final shots fired.
I think Robbie's shutting me down.
Okay. Okay.
Partial success. I come across poorly and they give a condition. Yeah, that definitely happened. Do you have any strings on me?
Let me check. I do. I have one string on you.
Okay. So you'll lose it.
Okay.
And then I'll take a condition that you'll give out.
Okay. And okay.
How about, quote, "I'm sorry if you were offended," end quote.
Right.
What do we call that? Insincere, or I mean, we all know what it means, I guess, but in terms of being able to hook onto it later on.
How about insincere? I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go to the Fannon's pub, right? I think you're in the Snug or something like that, in a, I guess, relatively private area, but you can definitely mix it up outside. it's relatively quiet. I think maybe is it a Wednesday or a Thursday night or something, so not terribly busy. I think your mom is sitting and texting, and your dad brings you to the bar and gets you a pint of Guinness to, get that into you, so to speak. How did this audition go today, Owen? I mean, I didn't hear it from anyone. He kind of looks in where your mother is sitting. But, I have my sources.
Yeah, I mean, the band's going fine. We got this new guy started. He's good. I think we've got a good shot at the Battle of the Bands.
That's Saturday night or Friday?
But begins on Friday.
Okay, well, I'll try to get to it.
Really?
I think I've got a couple of days grace after today's win, so.
Oh, I mean, that's pretty cool. I kind of assumed you wouldn't be able to make it, but thanks, Dad.
So I think while you're waiting for the pint to settle, your mom slips out. She doesn't get like her coat or anything, but she just maybe slips from the snug lounge area into the bar. She's pretty sure that you didn't spot her.
Could I have spotted? Did I spot her though?
Oh yeah. I'm telling you spotted her.
Okay. Yeah. And then I think I feel like I think Owen also makes an excuse to sort of take his pint. Yeah, I think Owen also makes an excuse that he's just gonna pop to the loo, so we can follow her. Yeah, I think that's what he does. He's just like, excuse me, Dad, kind of thing, and motions to where the bathrooms are.
Okay.
And then he'll slip out and follow his mother to what his mother is up to. She's been shady as shit today.
Okay. I think you're walking from one part of a pub into another. I don't think you need to. You're not being superstitious, but maybe you just don't want to be spotted by her.
Yeah.
I think you're going to keep your cool to
Nice.
not be spotted.
I got a 7.
Okay. So, how your actions would leave you vulnerable. So I don't think you're. I think what you can do is you can see your mother talk to someone, and she's being pretty flirty in your estimation, but you can't see who she's talking to. So you need to take another step or two to see who she's talking to. But if you do, they will definitely see you.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he takes a step forward. I think he feels like he's okay if I know that you know that I know, because yeah, I think he's okay if he is known.
So yeah, you take a couple of steps forward, and then I think maybe what they might have seen you but not realize that you're looking at them, but you had to step out of the way of someone, and then they see that you're not just moving through, you're actually looking at them. So yeah, it is Mr. Russo, your Italian teacher, and he has his hand on her forearm in a way that could probably be excused as he's an Italian, and that's just a body language thing, but you totally know it's not that.
And I think Owen makes quite cold eye contact with him for like an extended moment, and I think he does the same to his mother to catch his mother's attention.
I mean,
Or
I think the kind of the way you would naturally catch her attention is if he looks over her shoulder and she sees that glance and she turns to look at you, like, what are you looking at? Kind of look. I think that's the way it would happen if you want to
nice.
get attention. And it's like she instantly kind of shuts herself down, like she kind of shrugs his hand off her arm, and I think she says, "Oh, Owen, I bumped into your Italian teacher. Isn't that coincidence?"
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, strange, funny coincidence. I mean, I know my Italian. I think I didn't realize my Italian grades were that bad.
Well, as I've just been hearing, they're pretty shocking, actually. So yeah, maybe your sister has the right idea, and you should be studying at home as well. Though her grades are obviously not that bad.
Yeah, maybe I should, Mum. Well, see you at home. I don't think he says anything else. I think he just sort of like turns, and I think he's probably gonna. I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna like sort of stop by his dad and say like, shit, sorry, like something's come up, and just try and like book it because I think he's just feeling quite uncomfortable.
Okay.
And we'll probably try and seek out go back home and try and like find his sister, or maybe like stumble into someone else. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess your dad is kind of surprised, and but as in he thought he was going to spend some time with you, and you seem to be talking for the first time in ages, and then you're suddenly, oh, I gotta leave, and it's like, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think there's like that sort of like, I'm sorry, Dad, but he's saying sorry for like not him leaving, but sorry that like the family's like sorry for his mother, like sorry that their family's kind of breaking apart, kind of thing. He'll grab his coat and leave. Let's see you back at home.
So Regan, what's your route to the Abbey like?
So I have a plot.
Okay.
And you tell me how much information you want at this point, and I'm happy to reveal the master plan. But I am hoping that my destination was the Fannin party to find Owen, but I'm alone at this point.
Okay, and we will figure out what happened later, right?
Yes, that's the hope. I don't want to be super secretive, but I will.
Okay, yeah, I can roll. I can roll with that. So, I think we can have the two of you bump into each other as Owen grabs his coat to head back home.
Nice. Owen. I've been looking for you.
I think he looks over his shoulder and he sees you, and he's like, oh, "What?"
I need you to see something.
Jesus Christ! Stick out of the shadows and tell me I need to see things like that's pretty grim.
I'm not. No, I mean, yes, this is grim, but this is not. And I pull out a bracelet that Dylan used to wear.
Nice. And I think. Oh yeah, go.
That I'm sure you know who this belongs to.
Yeah, it was Dylan's, right?
Right. And then Dylan disappeared.
Yeah, he's missing.
No. He's not missing.
What the fuck?
Just come with me.
Jesus Christ, where?
Just to the Abbey. It's not far.
Oh God. And I think like usually Owen would probably like not go with you, but he's in this bit of like a weird stupor where like his mind's elsewhere and stuff. So he'll be like, fine. We'll go to the Abbey.
Okay. Let's go to the Fannin household, where Maliki is about to call on Ashlyn.
So
I guess I'm wondering what your state of mind is after that run-in with Robbie, right?
sure. Apologies don't come without sarcasm or price in the Moore household. And so he's trying to figure out what Robbie's trying to pull, or what the next what the other shoe's going to drop, or whatever it is. Like, how's this going to be twisted against me? You know. So he's just confused and angry at this point. And I guess he's trying to decide, should I text her? Should I just walk in? And so he's got his phone out, and
so you're standing outside the door texting her, or is that, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think she opens it.
Oh.
So I think we established that you were, I guess, really interested in Aisling because she kind of understood you, right? That in a way that no one else did.
Right.
Yeah. What about her right now kind of reminds you of that feeling you have for her?
She two things. One, for the biophysical side of me, she has like some warm plate from the oven, something from there, like some food. And she's got like a cranberry shirt on. So she's being my fan, and she knows that I run cold, and those are the things that really connect with me.
Okay, cool. So she kind of ushers you inside the house. It's like, get out of there. It's freezing outside. And
yeah, I never hit send on the text, but I think I was typing in something kind of like, maybe not tonight, maybe like I'd changed my mind or whatever.
Okay.
So, but
I'm sure that will never get accidentally sent or discovered.
Okay. But she did read the note that said that I was doing the song for her.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay. All right.
She still has that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not like pinned to her door or anything like that, but.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I guess I think if she's feeding you, she probably brings you into the kitchen. And
okay.
She
it was just something small, like some cornbread or something like that, but it was warm.
There's probably some leftovers from the family dinner that she heats up for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So she kind of seems like she's thinking of exactly what she wants to say as you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just kind of sighs and says, I'm kind of sorry I laughed at you earlier. It was a bit mean. I just didn't realize, what you were really doing.
Yeah.
I feel like a bitch.
So Malachi's really confused right now because here comes another apology. And like he just wasn't expecting this tonight at all. It's funny. Malachi says, Robbie just apologized to me too.
I think she looks pleased with herself. Oh, really? Yeah.
I
Who
don't know
knew?
what game he's playing at, but
Oh, I told him he better fucking apologize for being a jerk,
so he
or
wasn't setting me up for something.
he
isn't,
was trying to protect himself. That's what he was trying to do. You know, these like prima donna types, they are pretty egotistical when it comes down to it. Him and my brother are two peas in a pod, let me tell you that.
So he's afraid of you.
I wouldn't have put it that way. I mean, who'd be afraid of me? That's not a rhetorical question you can answer.
I don't know. I think it's kind of hot to intimidate somebody like that.
So she kind of leans against the table and kind of prods you in the chest with a finger. Surely I don't intimidate you, sweet innocent me.
Not intimidate, no. You get me. And no one else really does.
Well, I know what it's like to live under the thumb of a domineering mother.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how'd you get everybody out tonight?
They've gone to the pub for a self-congratulatory drink for my dad. The kids are in bed, asleep, so I've essentially the place to myself. Well, not anymore.
So, where do we go from here?
You could stop. You could just not act like a jerk and cut those apron strings, and we could go upstairs.
Okay. What does she mean by that though? Like, I just want to make sure I understand. Like, is she saying I'm being a pussy or something like that, or what is she saying?
I guess when she says cut the apron strings, she means forget your mother and the power she has over you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then what I'll say to her then is like, oh, every decision I've made tonight on the way over here is all mine. My mother has nothing to do with this. and I'll lean in and kiss her.
Okay, so she kisses you back, and I guess she leads you upstairs.
Okay. Okay.
Let's. I have a feeling like we have Robbie on the streets alone, looking for something to do.
Get hammered, maybe.
Good. I think that we've established he doesn't drink. He has other recreational activities, which I do want to play into when we get to our band stuff.
Well, I mean, mushrooms, maybe. I think you know someone who can supply mushrooms.
I do. I barely had any interaction. So is Regan anywhere about?
I guess she is heading up to the Abbey with one Owen Fannin, but I'm sure you could give her a call. I'm sure Robbie has the phone number of everyone in the village.
I think I send a text. We'll get away from me. I just want to have the text coming into Regan on her way to the Abbey. I need to find a time for us to go foraging again.
I think Reagan texts back soon. We can meet up soon. I'll tell you when.
So what's this kind of longish walk up to the Abbey like? What's the conversation?
I'm not saying anything unless Owen is prompting for questions.
I feel like you would. Yeah. I think there are probably questions to the tune of like what do you know about Robbie? What do you know about Dylan? Like this is pretty creepy.
So I don't know if you know this or not, but over last summer, Dylan was dating Saoirse.
Yeah, I think you mentioned something about that. He was kind of bragging about it.
Yeah. How well did you know Saoirse? Like at that point?
I guess I didn't know her. I mean, sometimes she like sat in on band practice, but I never talked to her.
That's weird, right? Like, isn't that weird that you wouldn't have gotten to know her better?
Well, maybe I just didn't think about much at the time. Why?
So, do you know? You must know about like kind of your family stories, right? Like all the myths and legends about like the Fannons.
Yeah, I mean, like I've family's been here for yonks, but like they're what you mean, like the Dragon Slayer shit?
Right. Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah, but this is the crest of arms. This is like stupid stories. Doesn't mean anything.
But what if it's not though?
What are you talking about?
What if it was all real?
Like dragons exist? Are you high right now?
No, I'm not actually. I guess what I'm saying is like, if the dragons were real and it was your family's duty to get rid of them, it would fall on you, right? You're the eldest, like.
That'd be Ashleen's problem. She'd probably do it. She's a fucking nerd. She always does what my mom asks.
Right. But could Ashleen do it? I don't think she could.
Well, I mean, you haven't seen her when you haven't seen how angry she gets when I hog the bathroom in the morning. She's got a bit of a temper.
I'm just saying, like, just imagine if it were real. Okay. Just pretend it's real.
I'm imagining it's real.
Okay. Can we be like close to the Abbey at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Find that, Donna. So I think we get up to the Abbey and I kind of lead you in back to this kind of like, maybe there's like a shaft of moonlight or something coming in one corner of it that's been busted up.
Nice.
And tied up with duct tape is Saoirse, sitting in a chair, like tied to the chair. And
yeah.
And the hammer is sitting in front of her. She's fine, like otherwise fine, like probably struggling. This looks really messed up, and I know that. But Saoirse killed Dylan.
Jesus fucking Christ. What?
She came to me tonight and showed me this bracelet, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why. I mean, I guess I do. It's because she's a fucking monster. And I don't mean that in the, like, oh, she's a teenager, she's a monster. No, she's like an actual monster. Aren't you, Saoirse? Aren't you a monster?
So
and I go over. Oh, can I
interject? Yeah. Do you want to do your? Yeah.
So I want to go over and like pick at her face and like peel her skin away to show the scales.
Nice.
Okay, so I think like when the general intro to her killing Dylan is going on, she is like shaking her head and like making that's complete bullshit behind the duct tape.
Right.
But when you say she's a monster, she goes quiet and still, right? And then when you go, I think when you step over and you start to kind of peel the skin off, I think she packs again, and that helps kind of tear the mask of human sloth skin away. And I think we should take a 5-minute break right there.
You're evil.
Nice.
Sounds
So
good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Did I step on your toes too much?
No, that was awesome.
Okay, good.
If I ever figure this out, Jesse, Reagan is so dead.
I mean, if Owen kills her, though, that's not on me.
Like I said, if I figure this out.
Hey, killing family members is all a part of your family. That's that's a thing you guys do.
Yeah, but when it's an outside interference, it's just not cool.
Owen's the outsider. I'm his cousin.
Robbie, this session has been getting much more close to home. I feel he's very much my high school darkest self. It's not a great thing to admit.
What does that mean your skin was when you were in high school?
No, I was definitely the Fae.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a theater kid who just kind of took personal affronts way too seriously.
Okay.
So Robbie has been texting Reagan this whole time as well, right, Robbie?
Yeah. I think getting progressively more urgent on things. I'm not actually planning to get high tonight. I just want to make sure that I'm well stocked because I figure that this week's going to get kind of busy.
I think at some point I text back hopefully before all of this goes down, I text back I promise we'll meet up tonight.
Would it make sense? I'm totally cool with just having this scene play out the way that it's going because I think it's awesome. If you both feel there's an opportunity for me, I could see Robbie even just being like, okay, I'll meet you at the Abbey in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll kind of see what happens with Owen, but my hope was that I could text you at the perfect moment for you to walk in.
Yeah.
You need a witness.
Or text you when I think it's going to happen. Yeah.
But let's cut to the Fannin household.
Oh, okay.
So we have, albeit through Owen's lens, established that Aisling is a bit has a temper. Do you want to describe her bedroom? And yeah, let's describe the bedroom.
Oh, you want me?
Yeah. I just want to.
Sorry, when you said it was through the lens of.
Oh,
Owen,
sorry. Yeah.
I thought you wanted Owen to tell us what the room looked like. Well, I think it's orderly. But I don't think I think it was orderly enough that she didn't have to clean up before I came over, kind of thing. And I think she's maybe she's into like outdoor sports or something like that, like hiking and things like that. So like I could see a pair of boots in her closet that she would use to go for like a real like mountain hike kind of thing. Um and um she has like a cork board with pictures on it, pictures of her and her friends and stuff like that. Um and um There's still a picture of her and Owen when they were younger. Um, there was there was some sort of race, and someone took a picture as she crossed the line before Owen did, and like they're right in the same frame, right? Like it's just inches apart. Um, and uh, she oh, she's done that thing where you paint your ceiling, and but when the light like it works better when the lights are off kind of thing, like it glows in the dark kind of thing. And it's some constellation that she likes, maybe her birth constellation or something like that, but it took her a long time to put it together. So she really enjoys being in her room and being because she spends a lot of time here. So that's what I think she has. And I think she has 4 posts, but she doesn't have like the roof over the poster bed. It's just got the posts that go up. So,
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
so she.
I think she feels like she needs to push you a little bit. And she turns off the light, and then she'll push you over onto the bed, and then you see the constellation.
Okay. So I'll reach up and try to pull her down to the bed. Does she let me, or is she still in control?
She lets you.
Okay. And I'm not like rapidly trying to take clothes off or anything like that. For me, it's a slow build. So it's just a lot of kissing right now.
Yeah, I think she is sure that you have plenty of time.
Okay.
So she is happy to take it slow. Is that? I mean, we can fade to black on this now, but I'm just wondering: is that Malachi's general approach to the whole thing, or is he like? Is it that he's reticent to start this, or is he just taking it slow naturally?
I think as he builds up confidence, he'll speed things up, like making like once he feels more and more safe. But I don't know how to quite do this without just interjecting the fade to black stuff, but I think I'm not going to do well. It depends on how she reacts to the following. At some point, my snake teeth do come out, and like I'll start with a nibble, but it's obvious that like it's not normal teeth. And if she's cool with that, then I'll go for the big reveal. And if she's not cool with that, then this may get shut down real quick.
Okay, let me.
And there's a rule for the big reveal, so
Yeah.
let me know if it happens.
I think I'm gonna have to think about that. So we cut back to the Abbey.
Okay. So I'm biting in like right here on her neck,
Okay.
and that's
Yeah, I just need to. I had not thought about that in terms of her reaction, so I think I just need to mull it over for 5 or 6 minutes.
I
Okay.
doubt anybody's thought about that to their reaction.
Okay, cool. So back at the Abbey, inside your head, Regan, you are hearing, well, you're feeling Muriesk. And he, I think, is generally impressed. Now, he wants to know, though, am I going to get inside Owen Fannon's head?
Hmm.
And you know how that'll happen.
Right. I do know how that will happen. Okay. So Muriesk has 4 strings on me right now.
Yeah.
So if I give him one more, I'm at Darkest Self. And I think I want this that bad. Like, I want him to make sure that Owen will kill her. Like, that is the thing that I want. And I will do whatever he wants if he is willing to make that happen somehow.
I guess I'm wondering, in terms of your pacts, is there anything that you can?
So that's my strings attached bargain, right? So that's what I'm trying to trigger here.
It's not a thing, though, is it? I mean, it's something you want to happen. I'm not sure it's a thing he can deliver in that way. It's not a fancy car or a gun or a packet of magic mushrooms. It's
right.
I'm not sure that's an action he can compel.
Huh. Mm. I think I would be doing whatever to try to make that happen then. So even if Muriesk is unwilling to do it, then I would be trying to goad Owen into doing it.
Okay, yeah. So Mariska said, of course, I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to.
I think when he says that, I sort of like if I could, under my breath in my head, say like something like, I thought you were stronger than that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what he is doing is he is saying every bad thing you do is your responsibility. You want to do those horrible things. He might ask for them, but you want to do them. You know, Muriesk is big into personal responsibility.
What is Owen doing right now?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So I think when Regan pulls off Saoirse's face, I think he blanches a bit. And he looks to Regan, then he looks to Saoirse. He looks to Regan again. And then he's like, Jesus fuck, I thought Maeve was kidding when she said this place was cursed, but ugh. And I think then he looks at Regan and he says, like, why do you need me for this? Like,
because this is your duty. This is your family's heritage. You are the ones who are supposed to get rid of the dragons. And here's one standing right in front of you.
And I think like
This is
Owen.
your duty.
I think
Don't you want
Owen.
to be something?
All I want to do is when battle the bands and get out of this fucking town. It's clearly severely fucked. And I think as he's saying this, he's inching toward Saoirse hesitantly. Like he's kind of worried, like she's a bit like a wild animal and she will like try to bite him or get out or come at him and stuff. So he's like really hesitantly approaching her. And I think Owen's like, is Saoirse like, is she like scared, or is like I'm curious like how Saoirse's reacting to having her face pulled off.
She freaked out for a minute, but now she's quiet again. And I think on the kind of human, most of her face that is still definitely human, you can see real fear. But then on the side that's been kind of torn off, you can see she has these snake eyes. And I'm not sure how you're reacting to her fear, but in that moment where you look into that reptilian eye of hers, it blinks and it's got that inner lid thing going on, which blinks a moment before the other eyelid does.
And I think unless like Regan is gonna jump in and grab like Owen's wrist, I think he goes to like pull off the duct tape that's like on Saoirse's mouth. And I feel like unless like Regan stops him, I like the image of some more of her face coming off with that, like with the pull, so it reveals like her serpentine like mouth. And I think Owen puts to Saoirse like, "What the fuck are you?"
So yeah, I think you've torn off part of her cheek now, and you can see the kind of real fang inside there folded up, and behind it that forked tongue of hers. But she's still kind of like, I think she has a bit of a lisp, but only because you've torn away like half of her lips with the duct tape. What do you want me to say? I mean, I've never hurt anyone. I've never tied anyone up.
And I think like Owen looks to Regan for like sort of confirmation of this. Like she's clearly not a monster. She's not harming anyone.
And the penny drops right in her head. She's jealous that I was in love with Dylan, and she was cheating with him behind my back.
Do you honestly believe that the singer of your band, your best friend, would be in love with this monster? Look at her. Look at her. You know that I'm right.
I think like
She killed him.
I think like Owen puts his hands up a bit to sort of like relieve himself from getting in the middle of the two of you. And he's like, I don't know. This sounds like a lot of like, I'm gonna say like petty bullshit, but petty is not the right way to describe what's happening right now. But who the fuck killed Dylan?
she did.
So yeah,
I
I think we should push the rules onto Owen. You know, you can connect with your chosen past bloodline and gaze into the abyss for some insight on this, right?
Yes, I would love to. I would love to do this. I will gaze into the abyss.
What does that look like?
Ooh. Quite compelled to pick up the hammer. And I feel like as he does, there is that connection to his past, and it feels like Excalibur in his hand kind of thing, even though it's like a shitty hammer that would probably like take a long time to kill someone. And I think as he does that, it's like that's when it gets overwhelming, like overwhelming like shock to his system that takes him back into like the times of his ancestors kind of thing. And I will roll. Oh, that's a 5.
Okay. Let's cut away for a second, and I think we have an answer to like what kind of freak would be into something that is a snake. And I think Ashling feels that first kind of almost piercing by your fangs, Maliki.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a moment of panic or misunderstanding. And you kind of feel her pull away for a second, like she's going to turn on the light or something. But then she comes back over to you and maybe puts her hands on your jaw to try to figure out exactly what it is she's feeling. So she is not freaked out.
Okay. Then what I imagine is that as we have sex, she does that thing where you claw down the back, and like she'll be doing the revealing is the point. She'll be pulling things away. We become much more passionate in our lovemaking. And then she has a choice to make based off of the rule, and that is to accept or reject me. And let's see here. There we are. When you reveal your true form to someone, they gain a string on you. If they accept you as you truly are, they mark experience. If they reject you, take one forward against them.
Okay, yeah. So I think she is accepting you and taking a string on you. Obviously, the XP doesn't matter to her,
right,
as a side character. But okay, so let's go to Robbie. I think Robbie is ambling around town when pretty much out of nowhere comes Aiden, who was the kid that was, I guess, the there was a lot of rumors, and there was some photoshopped images of him passed around, and then he disappeared. And the rumors were that I'm not sure many people believe that he was sent off because we can't be having that kind of thing around here. So he just appears literally out of nowhere. Like he steps out from behind a lamppost right in front of you. And he was definitely not there a moment ago.
Oh, shite, scared me half to death.
Yeah, well, I guess we're in a lot of trouble, Robbie.
What is it? Where have you been?
I've been back home.
Shite. Well, what's the word back there?
You didn't hear this from me, but the Queen is scared shitless. The dragon is waking up. It ate Roshin last night, or earlier today, rather. And that's not good. Like, the agreement is one innocent soul every 7 years, and now he's just kind of trying to consume us and any more of us, and he's going to fucking tear down the walls and get in.
All right.
So we can't be having that.
I suppose you can't be having that.
Well, do you want somewhere to fucking go home to?
I have somewhere to go home to. Don't I?
Well, not for much longer.
Look, I don't give a fuck what happens to Tirnanog. I'm happy here. Just go fuck off back to Fairyland.
I'm pretty sure promises were made that you would return on your birthday.
Not by me.
By your human parents. If they don't deliver, they pay.
What do you want me to do?
Well, we have to stop it.
Where is it?
In the lake. There's someone feeding it. We have to figure out who and stop them as well.
All right, all right. Just to be clear, I don't like being manipulated this way. If you can find some way, I help you. I get this serpent off your backs. I get to stay. Get the queen to call off her bargain, do whatever you have to. I'll help save your land, but that's not my home.
Poor Robbie. I guess that's your choice. Like you say, you didn't promise Jack. I will put in a good word for your people. Caroline and Peter, right?
That's right.
If you help with this.
and I extend out my hand to shake.
He spits on his first. Shakes your hand.
Spit on mine.
Okay.
It's a promise.
You think I don't understand?
Just getting it in words. Just getting it in words.
Okay, back over to Owen. So you take this killing weapon and you connect with your ancestors' memories. And one of them speaks directly to you. He has a voice that's like a storm. You can hear the waves crashing. He's angry. Owen?
Yeah.
Are you it for this generation?
It.
Are you it? The chosen one?
I don't know.
Well, this thing in front of you is not the dragon. It is one of its whelps.
So what should I do?
Do you have any feelings for her? Or it, I should say.
No, she's in my class, so I hardly know her, but I see her in school.
Then take your hammer and crush her skull.
And I think, like, I totally envision this conversation happening, like, in slow motion compared to what's happening in real time. And I think, like, while this conversation is going on in Owen's head, it's happening at the same time that he is just bashing her skull in. Like, almost like he has lost control of himself. Like, he's not sure what he's doing as he's having this, like, conversation with his ancestor. But I think his ancestor's anger channels through him, and that stormy rage flows through to, like, his wrist. And when he sort of, like, comes to, he's covered in blood. As is the hammer. And then I think he looks at Saoirse in front of him, whose head has just been bashed in. And he's shaking and breathing, and he's probably crying a bit. Especially when he, like, sort of looks and realizes what he's done. And then he looks to Reagan.
I'm just walking away.
Nice.
So I guess two things happen simultaneously with your kind of first killing blow. Robbie kind of turns the corner of the path into the grounds of the Abbey, and Malachi knows that his sister is dead.
That probably happens while I climax.
Obviously. So, is Regan walking down the path or kind of away towards the lake? That's kind of...
Yeah, I'm going towards the lake. If Robbie is planning to meet me at the Abbey. I'm trying to get away from the obvious routes into the Abbey so that he doesn't run into me.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, let's go with Robbie first. So you see, I guess Owen is pretty distinctive, even in the dark, I think, especially for you. And you see him lose his shit with this claw hammer. I mean, it's pretty brutal, right? I mean, there is blood
sweet,
spraying,
holy, merciful
brains.
fuck! What the fuck? What the fuck?
Robbie?
What are you doing? I feel like this, like right off the bat, this is a keep your cool to me.
For who?
For me.
Okay, let's go with that first.
Yeah.
How freaked out is Owen? I guess we can do that afterwards, right? So what are you afraid of?
Well, I mean, yeah, Owen has just gone hammer murderer, and yeah, I'd say, like, you know, I've just been presented with, you know, there's lizard people around, and they're out to get us all. I'm just working toward logical conclusions. So I'm definitely concerned for my life. Ooh. Oh, Mark XP.
So I think when Robbie, when Robbie sees Owen turn around with that still kind of murderous glint in his eyes and kind of blood and brains splattered over his face and gore up to his elbow, you are positive he is going to kill you too. You don't see the kind of, maybe the skin when she dies, the kind of human skin has sloughed off her, and her serpent form is apparent, but not to you. You're kind of tunnel visioned in on Owen. So yeah, I think you are afraid of Owen like you have never been afraid of anything.
Okay. Is there anything around that I can grab a hold of to ostensibly protect myself? I'm picturing, and it depends on how abandoned this abbey is, what kind of stuff I'd be able to grab.
It's pretty abandoned, 500 years or so. So
just a big stone.
It's a big, yeah, I guess a big stone, a piece of slate from a wall or something like that. Something that would not be something that makes you feel safer, or would be a weapon and well capable of killing someone. Yeah, definitely.
And I think like Owen sees Robbie go for the rock, and I think he takes several steps towards like Robbie before he realizes that he's like still holding the hammer, probably a bit raised, and then looks at his own hand and then sort of like drops it as if it's like made of hot iron, and it like clatters to the abandoned abbey floor, and he's shaking. And I think he's saying like, oh, should I keep my cool? Because I feel like what Robbie is really worried about is, what Owen's really worried about is like that Robbie will think that he did it because he didn't do it, but he didn't do it at the same time, But I don't know if I need to keep my cool. I feel like Robbie already thinks that I did it.
Is it that you don't think you'll be able to explain?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think you can keep your cool with that in mind. Or you can
You
try.
better start talking right quick.
I got an 8.
So what are you? What's your hard decision here? I think what you need to do to convince Robbie that maybe you aren't a danger to him is to put yourself at his mercy. You know, like you have dropped the hammer, you step away from it, and you know, don't be afraid when he has that weapon raised at you.
It's funny because my first thought was like, yeah, he'll get shirtless. That's how he'll show that he's vulnerable. But
wishful thinking.
Yeah, so I think he drops the hammer, it clatters to the ground, and he sort of just like, I think he takes a couple of steps towards Robbie, but like stops a few feet from him.
I take like a step back.
And I think he says like, I don't know what came over me. I didn't do it.
And you got a bloody hammer and there's a caved in head.
I don't know what came over me. I don't know what freaking dark magic Reagan has, but she made me do this. She came.
That sounds like bullshit. Step away.
I swear to God, Reagan brought me up here. She had Saoirse tied to a fucking chair, and she had the hammer, and she told me to kill her. I didn't want to kill her.
Can I go to Saoirse? I think that I don't think Owen's a threat to me at this moment.
I just want to go over to Maliki now. For two things. What's that instant reaction, you know, after you realize your sister is dead?
So the way I see it, is if you'll imagine like the cameras where the ceiling is and it's looking down on the bed, there's a snake wrapped intimately and tightly around Aisling. And I don't know if snakes cry, but it's crying. And like I don't imagine that I'm a constrictor snake, but I feel like I'm just tightly wrapped around Aisling right now. And how much do I know, I guess, is the real question. Like, if I just know that she's dead, that's one thing. If I know that, like, it was Owen that did it, that's another.
I think you might have to gaze into the abyss to get any more information than that instant knowledge that she is dead.
All right, let's fail another roll.
What does that look like for you?
So, even though I just molted, I know that I have to do something. So, I've slithered off of Aisling, and I'm forcing myself to molt back into human form, and it's painful, and like every time I push forward another inch, I get closer to the truth, hopefully. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's roll plus dark and see.
All right. I'm going to click on my character sheet and click on dark. And I got a 6.
Okay, so
I have a string on Reagan. Could I spend that?
I guess
I
the
have a string on Owen as well. So.
yeah. So I guess you're trying to find out what happened to Saoirse. They were both on the scene, so yeah. I think it's probably more directed at Owen, right? Given that he did the deed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can I think spend a string to give yourself a bump up to a 7.
Okay.
That sounds fair. So in that case, the abyss shows you confusing and alarming visions, but you get your answer nonetheless. So yeah, you get a vision, like blood-dimmed vision of someone pummeling your sister's head in, and you're not quite sure whether it's the destruction of her human form or of her real form under that kind of pummeling, furious pummeling of the hammer. That's worse. That she has been unmasked as a serpent, or that she was killed as a serpent. And through those eyes, you see a hand, maybe with some jewelry that you definitely recognize as Owen's. But the kind of last thing you hear from inside his head is, a voice that sounds like your grandfather's. It's not your grandfather's, but it has that same kind of timbre to it.
And what does it say?
It's kind of words of encouragement, quite a self-satisfied, finally everything's coming together, kind of thing. I think
Okay.
you probably get a sense of it's cajoling Owen to kind of be the champion that he was always meant to be.
Oh, I see. So if I understand you correctly, I am hearing the voice that Owen heard in his head, convincing him to slay my sister, and that voice sounds like my grandfather.
But it's not. It just sounds in that same kind of vein. There's something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that my grandfather was telling Owen to kill my sister, and I was like, oh my god.
How fucked up can we get this family?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I suppose cinematically, I'm back to being human again.
Yeah.
How does Aisling take all that? Is she asleep or did she witness this?
I mean, she has witnessed you crawling back into your skin.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. She seems kind of interested.
Okay. Your brother just killed my sister.
What?
Your brother just killed my sister.
What the fuck are you on about?
Can I be more plain?
Okay, like, no. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, this is freaky enough, and now you're just talking nonsense, which makes like sense in terms of it being in English, but no sense otherwise.
My family, we're connected, okay? And I saw her last moments. I saw her death. It just happened. And by your brother's hand. Fuck. I've got to go. I've got to go. And I start getting dressed.
I think you might want to keep your cool.
Okay.
And I'm going to suggest that if you don't, or what you're afraid of maybe is that she won't understand. She won't take you seriously. If that sounds about right.
Okay. All right. Yeah. This is just me, like, not wanting to be intimate or something like that. This is me pushing her away. So, okay. And keep your cool as a cold roll.
Okay.
I have succeeded with a 13.
That's pretty good. So she, I guess you take maybe a little bit more time and give it to her in terms that she cannot help but understand exactly, that you're serious, that this isn't you just making up some bullshit to get out of here.
Yeah, I explain it all to her. I kiss her on the forehead and I'm like, I've got to go. I've got to go take care of this.
Okay, so she kind of stops you from leaving straight away. Do you want me to do anything? What can I do?
You can forgive me for what I'm about to do.
And she totally knows what you mean. And she lets you go.
And I get to ask questions or something?
Yes, sorry. So you ask a question of the situation and you get a +1 forward to acting on it.
Okay.
So this is insight into, I guess, typically the situation. So.
Oh, okay. Where's Owen at? I want to find Owen.
Okay.
I want to track Owen. Is the point? So
I think Yeah.
I want to be able to smell my sister's blood on him. Like, I want to know where Owen is.
I think if you remember back to that kind of hazy vision that you got, you can definitely make out that it was at the Abbey.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Let's go Lakeside with Regan. Sounds like a TV show. a morning chat.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think this is quite a calming morning TV show set. I'm just sobbing by the lake. That's all.
Well,
I don't know if I hear Mariask or not.
Mariask is nice.
Are you happy? Are you happy?
Well, I'm just surprised that you didn't screw him in the blood and gore right there and then. That would have been cherry on top for me. But this will do. This will do.
What now?
What now? Well, I think I'm hungry. And I think if you were to arrange it, perhaps with your cousin, who I'm sure is on his way here right now, we might find a beautiful fairy child to consume. Name of Robbie.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's what needs to happen, then that's what we will do.
But I think if you want to destroy the Fanons, the best thing to do is to leave the boy live. That will destroy their power much more than a tragic death.
Wait, so who do you want to eat?
Oh, I want to eat Robbie, the Fey child. But I mean, Owen should survive because nothing will destroy the Fanon power more than a rancid murderer in their midst.
Okay. 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 And with that, I think I get up and like wipe my eyes and like kind of shake myself off and start walking back to the Abbey.
Okay. So back at the Abbey, we have Owen and Robbie.
Yeah, have I been able to get? Sorry.
On you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have I been able to get close to the body? Because I think that my tone is likely to change if I. See that.
Yeah. Sorry, I did have a question for Maliki. I presume, or maybe you can tell us, is there anything strange that happens to the serpentine bodies after death, or do they remain intact as physical entities?
Our family is like, there's an assigned genealogist to our family, and we make sure to find every single one of us and bury us before anybody notices. It's a very difficult part of our life. We keep track of everybody.
Okay.
And like, members of our family are more willing to say, are willing to tell their spouses, I slept with someone else, just so the children can be taken care of if they happen to be. So it's a very weird family. No, nothing special happens.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, so you see almost kind of split open by the violence is this human husk, like a rubber suit almost. And inside there's this giant snake.
Leaping lizards. Ah. What was she?
I think like Owen is behind Robbie and like puts a hand on his shoulder to steady himself, and then like finally has it in to look at what he's done properly and survey what he did, and shakes his head and is like, I guess she was a fucking dragon.
Fuck. Look at you,
Robbie,
St. George.
I don't feel like a saint, that's for sure. Look,
Oh,
we gotta get rid of the body.
I know just the place. You did the right thing. God damn, but you did the right thing.
I think Owen will try and like hug Robbie. Not to turn him on.
Inappropriate moment, right? Are we going straight for turning Robbie on, or?
I don't know if he's trying to turn him on. I think he's just trying to like, they're making out over. But I think it's
standing over this body making out. I know.
I think like it's more like just seek out physical comfort kind of thing. Like this is a physical comfort hug.
Yeah, and I reciprocate. Say, tell you what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think we ought to take this snake down to the lake, show its ancestors your handiwork.
Yeah, I thought that was where I went as well. And I think like he has a hard time forming the words like, will you help me carry your body down to the lake? Because it's like these are never words he thought he would ever have to say in his life, but he just manages to get them out.
You had me at hello.
Owen, you start to get a call, but it hangs up after one ring. I think it happens right as you pick up Saoirse's body.
Mm.
Do you go to see what it was, or do you just?
No, I think he's so preoccupied. Like I guess he hears it, but in his head he's thinking, I can call back later. Like this is a much more pressing issue. So he'll ignore his phone for now.
Okay. How quickly does Maliki get to the Abbey?
I think I'm there to see a hammer and a chair and some blood, maybe a streak of blood. But I kind of want to run away just to see how well I do to get there. But it's such a weird, like, I don't know. I wish the dice could tell me, because I'll totally confront them there, and I'll totally have to chase after them. I'm okay with either storyline.
Yeah, I think that's apt to roll one away to see how quickly you get there.
Okay. If the dice don't make any sense, then we can make a decision. But like,
I mean, of course, like a safe place is to see them both carrying her body, right?
Right. And I think, running into something worse would probably be Regan.
Ouch.
I got a 12.
They've obviously spent a long time hugging and talking out their problems before they get around to. And it's also like, how do you even pick up this thing for one trip? It's
You just roll it.
It's just like rolling up a body in a carpet, right? That's simple.
Already taken care of for you.
So yeah, you spot them in the moonlight, holding the body and kind of making their way down to the slope on the path. Which is, I think, given that they took so much time to allow you to get there, Regan sees you kind of sees Owen and Robbie come down the path straight towards her as well. So wow, we have a scene with everyone together. That's amazing. I think we will start with Maliki. What do you do?
Okay. So, question for you, Owen. Do you carry the head side or the leg side?
Ooh, I had in my mind like Owen kind of taking up the rear, so maybe he has the feet. Yeah, totally. Time is running out. My music's playing in the background. I think he's got like the feet. I feel like he's taking Robbie's lead here. I think he has the feet.
Okay. And does that make you closer to me or further away from me?
Closer to you.
Okay. All right. The whole head thing, I was just like wondering if you could deal with being that close to what you did. But okay. So, I think I just run and tackle you.
Nice.
Owen. So, and if that's successful, then I'm I think I'm just beating you up at this point. I don't think there's any pretense or speech or anything to it.
You're less lashing out physically?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I think this counts.
Awesome.
I think I say something like, Owen, I do say, Owen, I'll fucking kill you when I
nice.
run into you. There. I said
excellent.
Doubt that turns you on, so let's go with lash out physically. Character sheet. Volatile. I got a 9. If I'd saved my string until now, I could have had a 10.
So why don't we read that?
Sure. Click here for my reference sheet. And it says, when you lash out physically, roll volatile. On a 7 or 9, you harm them, but choose 1. They learn something about your true nature and gain a string on you. The MC decides how bad it turns out, or you become your darkest self. Do you already know, by implication, that I'm a serpentine, Owen?
Yeah, I guess if you're related, that's probably inferable.
Okay, so I can't choose
Unless it's something else that he finds out about you. Like you're
So-
wearing his sister's hoodie instead of your own that you picked up in the dark.
Right. Like, yeah, or I smell like her since I've been rubbing against her. Let me read my darkest self real quick. Where is that located at? There we are. The human and serpent worlds are too different, and you'll never be able to reconcile their demands. The only way out is to choose a side as decisively and irrevocably as possible. Watch carefully and quietly for an opportunity, then strike, regardless of who needs to be hobbled or devoured in the process. It's the only way to make the world simple again and find your place at last. I want to do both. Let's go with the first one. I'm wearing your sister's Cranberries t-shirt, and you know where I've been, and you gain a string on me.
Okay, and I guess you are kind of hammering into Owen, blindsiding him. Really, I think it's might be one harm.
Okay.
What does Robbie do when, I guess, first of all, the other person holding up their half of the corpse leaves go, but then you see this fight break out?
Yeah. I take it that by inference, I also know that Malachi's a serpentine. Yes, no?
I mean, I think...
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. If there's even just a heavy branch or anything like that, I grab it. I say, "Take your hands off him, you fucking snake!" And just swing away.
Okay. Before that happens, I just want to check in with Regan to see what she is doing from out of sight.
Oh, fuck. I feel very torn here because I need to get rid of Robbie and I need to stop Owen from getting killed right now.
The ultimate problem of the evil mastermind. Too many plots juggling.
Oh, God. Okay.
Marius has an opinion. If you are letting him, giving him the time to express it.
Yeah. What is he in my head yelling, complaining about?
He's hungry.
Okay. Robbie it is. Sorry, Robbie. I think I'm just going to run and try to tackle Robbie then.
Okay, so I think, Robbie, you're casting around for a suitable branch when you're tackled from behind. Is that it? Or you...
Yeah, I think that's my... Yeah, let's do that. I'll just try to take him down. So, you want me to roll now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof, not great.
So I think Robbie is going to see you coming.
Oh, actually, sorry. I have a string on Robbie. Can I bump that up to... Oh, never mind. It's a 5. Doesn't matter.
5. Yeah.
Forget it.
So
Yep.
you need to bring it up.
Yep.
Okay. So I think yeah, he sees you coming, and you get the heavy branch that he just picked up in the face, breaking your nose, your cute nose, spraying blood all over the place. We'll call that one harm, and I think we'll give Robbie the opportunity to either switch targets or to continue to save Owen.
I think I would only switch targets if I have an idea of what the hell is going on with Regan. And like I could see that as a gaze into the abyss if the Fey realm in any kind of way is trying to communicate with me of who my true enemy at this moment is.
Yeah, I think that works. Does what, like when you connect with the Fey realm, which I think we've established is pretty strong in this neighborhood,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
A cold breeze starts picking up, and it's swirling leaves and lighter twigs into the air around me, and I'm following the path that they take.
So yeah, let's roll and see how that goes.
Okay. I have a fail. Yeah, and I don't have strings on anybody important in this that I can spend.
Okay. So the twigs kind of swirl around in this pattern, and they just all dump in a pile right in front of Regan, and her blood out of her broken nose kind of splatters on top of it, and you feel a hand on your back. It's cold. You know, it makes you start to sweat, and it kind of pushes you down the path. And there's a whisper in your ear, and you can like feel the breath against your cheek. You need to follow her. You're going to show that queen in Tirnanog that she cannot rule there any longer. She cannot ruin people's lives. We are going to turn her kingdom to dust.
Ooh. This all sounds very tempting, but I've made a promise. I'm not going to break my promise. Yeah, I think so. It's trying to lead me to Tirnanog,
The lake.
or to the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to follow the voice to the lake. I don't trust it, but Robbie, being the cocksure guy that he is, thinks that he can deceive Miralesk by following its lead.
So, Regan, I presume you're rolling with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
If he's walking to the lake. If he just turns around and starts walking to the lake, I am 100% on board
Okay.
with sort of facilitating him along.
Okay. So by the time you get down to the lakeside, ice has begun to form properly, and there's a real frost covering all the stones and the ice that's starting here and the reeds. Everything is frosted over like incredibly quickly. And you can both feel the cold down here just start to suck the energy, the warmth out of your bodies. It's hungry, and that shouldn't make any sense, but it does. This lake is, or whatever's in it, is hungry for your blood.
Come on out, show yourself. Foul creature.
What's Regan doing right now?
Yeah, I'm right behind him, right? Probably. I think when he's yelling, I just tap him on the shoulder. Say, I'm right here. And then I push him.
So I think Robbie, standing at the edge of the lake, at least steps onto the ice to keep himself upright in a kind of a instinctual response. You don't want to just fall over, right? And you slide out. And it's crazy, right? You should slide a meter or two maybe, but you keep sliding. Like there's a slope on this icy lake, which is just mental, right? What are you doing?
We're so close. Like what I envision is like just trying to turn around. Probably like as soon as I realize that I'm not going to stop moving, I turn around quickly. And I like fall down. Were I making an exercise of self-preservation as a player right now, I'd be trying to run away. But what I picture happening is being swallowed whole, so that there's that little bit of ambiguity as to what does happen. See, we don't exactly see a body.
So how about something like this? From if the camera is at the shoreline, right over Regan's kind of point of view, just over her shoulder, we see Robbie like spiral across the lake, and the kind of frozen mist that's lying on top of the ice just swallows him, and he disappears out of view. Roll credits.
Fuck, that was so good.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna just stop broadcast, and then we will